As stated by Mark Twain, Banaras is older than history, older than tradition, older even than legend, and looks twice as old as all of them put together. The history of this age old city dates back more than 1600 years, even before the fall of the Roman Empire. It is one of the seven oldest cities in India still inhabited. Located on the northern banks of the mighty Ganga, the name Varanasi comes from two Ganges tributaries aging the city, Varuna in the north and Asi in the south. In the ancient Indian hymns of Rigveda, Varanasi is referred to as Kashi. Kash in Sanskrit meaning to shine, making it the city of light. This religious capital of India is known to be the holiest of Saptapuri, or the seven sacred pilgrimage sites, as per Hinduism, to provide moksha. Hindu mythology describes Kashi to be founded by Shiva. Kashi Vishwanath temple, dedicated to Mahadev, is one of the major attractions of Varanasi. Though in history, this age-old temple had been destroyed and reconstructed several times. Tulsidas, the Vaishnav saint and poet, wrote his epic poem Ramcharitmanas in the banks of Varanasi. The name of this divine city is found to be mentioned over and over in Mahabharata. The king of Hastinapur, Vichitravirya, was married to Ambika and Ambalika, the princes of Kashi. Duryodhan was married to Kashi princess Bhanumati. Sarvaga, the son of second Pandav Bhima and Kashi princess Valandara, became the ruler of Kashi. The Pandavas visited Kashi in search of absolvement for their sins during the Kurukshetra war. Varanasi was a part of the kingdom of Kashi when Lord Buddha is said to have found Buddhism around 528 BCE at Sarnath, just 10 km from the center town. Chinese scholar, traveler Huensang came to Varanasi around 635 CE. During the 8th century, the Indian philosopher and theologian Adi Shankara established the worship of Shiva as an official sect of Varanasi. In the medieval period, Varanasi became a principal center of trade, prominent for perfume, ivory work, muslin, and silk. After the fall of the Pala dynasty, the Chero rulers ruled Varanasi till the Mughals came. The 15th century Indian mystic poet and saint Kabir was born here in 1389. Religious reformer, poet, traveler, and a prominent figure of the theistic devotional trend, the Bhakti movement, Ravidas, was also born and lived in Varanasi. Not only Hinduism, from time to time, Varanasi played a major role in the growth and spread of Buddhism, Ravidasya, Jainism, Sikhism, and Islamism. In 1737, under Mughal rule, the kingdom of Banaras underwent a cultural revival and gained official status. Emperor Akbar patronized the city as a center of cultural importance, pilgrimage, mysticism, and religious education. He helped construct two large temples devoted to Vishnu and Shiva. Apart from being a center of distinct religious beliefs, Varanasi is a major hub of art and culture. Some prominent musicians and dancers connected to the city include Ustad Bismillah Khan, Pandit Ravi Shankar, Girija Devi, Pandit Kishan Maharaj, Lalmani Mishra, Sitara Devi, and many more. Due to its rich musical heritage, in the year 2015, Varanasi has been chosen under UNESCO's list of cities of music. Stretching for 6.8 km, the western bank of Ganga has a continuous stretch of 84 ghats constructed mostly by various Hindu kings along with majestic palaces to spend their final days, die by the side of this sacred river and attain salvation. Due to its proximity to the Vishwanath temple, the most spectacular and glorious among them is the Dasaswamedh Ghat. The name is derived from the Dasaswamedh Yagya performed by Brahma by sacrificing 10 ashwa or horses. The ghat was constructed by Nana Saheb Balaji Bajirao in the year 1748. Later in the year 1774, the ghat was reconstructed by the Queen of Indore, Ahalyabai Holkar. Ganga Aarti, a ritual of offering prayer to the mighty Ganga, is a magnificent event of Dasaswamedh Ghat. Starting soon after sunset and lasting for 45 minutes every evening, this gala event attracts hundreds of tourists. Not only Indians, foreigners visiting the city don't miss a chance to witness this glorious affair. Boats can also be hired to get a view of Ganga Aarti from the river itself. In the early 18th century, Maharaja Jai Singh II of Jaipur built 5 observatories across the country, among which the Jantar Mantar of Varanasi lies close to Dasaswamedh Ghat, overlooking the river. The Maharaja had keen interest in astronomy. Jantar Mantar is a huge sundial along with different yantras for various astronomical calculations. The primary purpose of which is to predict the time and movement of the sun, moon, and the planets. Hindus believe karma or the deed of a person leads to rebirth. Death is the gateway to another life. Hindu faith is convinced by the belief that the cycle of rebirth is broken if cremated in the great Manikarnika Ghat. Being one of the oldest ghats in Varanasi, the mention of Manikarnika is even found in 5th century Gupta inscriptions. Hindus from all over the country come here to spend their last days. The origin of the name Manikarnika has mythological influence. The ear ornament of Devi Sati is believed to have fallen here, making it one of the 51 Shakti Peeth. A little far from Manikarnika, Harishchandra Ghat is also used as a Hindu cremation ground. It is said that an average of 80 bodies are cremated in the ghats of Varanasi every day. The ghats of Varanasi create an exquisite view from the river. Boats can be hired either on a sharing basis or private. The person steering or rowing the boat acts as a guide, narrating the names and chronicles of all the ghats. The high domes, minarets, and Hindu Mughal style structure of Alamgir Mosque, located at the Panchaganga Ghat, can easily be seen while on the boat trip. During the 16th century, a Vishnu temple was built at this place by Raja Man Singh of Amber. Later in 1669, Emperor Aurangzeb demolished the temple and built a mosque over its ruins. Locally known as Madhodas Ka Darhara, even non-Muslims are allowed to enter the mosque. Another exquisite sight that steals all the attention is the palatial building at Munshi Ghat. Sridhar Narayana Munshi of Nagpur estate built this ghat in the year 1812. Later in 1915, Kameshwar Singh Gautam Bahadur of Darbhanga purchased this ghat and extended it, the extended part being known as Darbhanga Ghat. The reason for Bengali sentiment attached to this ghat is also fascinating. The eminent Oscar-winning Bengali filmmaker Satyajit Ray shot multiple scenes of his movie Joy Baba Phelunath at Darbhanga Ghat. Currently, the Darbhanga Palace has been named Brijrama Palace and transformed into a 5-star hotel. The spirit of this age-old city can best be witnessed by taking down a walk through the ghats. All the ghats are connected. Most of the palaces in the river bank are now converted to hotels and guest houses with rooftop restaurants offering enchanting views of the majestic Ganga. Although the soul of Varanasi also lies in its alleys, these narrow lanes, looking like a maze to the tourists, have everything one can ask for. Strolling down the famous back alley of Bangalitola is a must. These puzzled passageways smell of history: kachori, rabdi, pan masala, incense stick, flowers, along with fresh cheese and steaming cappuccino. Bangalitola has a number of guest houses, mostly preferred by the foreign tourists. The restaurants serve cuisines from all over the world. A native mini cigar filled with tobacco flake wrapped with a tendu leaf called bidi is also famous in this alley. Different types of sweetmeats are a specialty of Varanasi. Especially the rabdi of Vishwanath Gali must not be missed. Remember that famous shooting scene from Anurag Kashyap's prominent movie Gangs of Wasipur? Yes, this is the place where it was shot, Chunar Fort. Located on the rocky bank of Ganga in the Chunar town of Mirzapur district, the history of this fort dates back to 56 BC, from the time of Vikramaditya of Ujjain. Sher Khan, later known as Sher Shah Suri, took control of Chunar Fort in 1532, strategically by marrying two widows, one of them being the widow of the deceased governor of Chunar. After the death of Adil Shah, the last of Suri's dynasty, the fort came under the control of the Mughals. Until Sepoy Mutiny of 1857-58, Chunar Fort was the headquarters of the Invalid Battalion of Artillery and Infantry and resident to the European officers. Finally, after 1890, the British troops were withdrawn and the fort was converted to a convalescent center under civil administration. Below the Chunar Fort campus lies the 200 years old abandoned British graveyard. With a magnificent view of the Kaimur Hills, just beside the river Ganga lies a number of dilapidated, neglected tombs of British soldiers. With the walls smashed, weeds and rubbish everywhere, this graveyard surely shows lack of maintenance and preservation of this year-old antiquity. Aided by the Archaeological Survey of India, the Archaeological Department of Banaras Hindu University carried out an excavation in the Rajghat area of Varanasi. The artifacts unearthed during the excavation date back between 8th century BC to 18th century AD. According to the ASI, the site of Rajghat was one of the earliest settlement sites representing the ancient Kashi. Inside the gate of the Rajghat excavation site lies the tomb of Lal Khan, the army commander of the former king of Kashi. Lal Khan wished to be buried at a place from where he could see the gateway of the royal palace even after his death. To honor his last wish, the king of Kashi buried him at Rajghat and built a spectacular tomb on his grave. Two other graves from the family of Lal Khan can also be seen on the tomb. Established in 1916 and spreading over 1300 acres, the Banaras Hindu University is the largest residential university in Asia. Coming from all over the world, BHU has a residential capacity of over 30,000 students in its campus. On the eastern bank of Ganga, opposite to Tulsi Ghat, lies an immense castle, the Ramnagar Fort. Built in the year 1750 by Kashi Naresh Raja Balwant Singh, a part of this fortress still remains the residential complex of the present Maharaja of Varanasi. Though the royal title was abolished in 1971, the Darbar Hall is now converted to a museum called Saraswati Bhavan, holds a vast collection of vintage cars, swords, guns, jewelries, paintings, in addition to a rare astronomical clock. This typical Mughal style of architecture constructed with Chunar sandstone is accessible both via road and river.